Social work honest. My dad's a social worker, my mom's a special ed teacher, so I grew up with my parents being professionals that were in the helping field.
I worked in the field of child welfare for several years, and though I loved that work because I knew every day I went to work I was making a difference and it was important and necessary work, it was extremely taxing and stressful. It had come to a point in my life where I knew I needed to make a change, just personally. I felt like I wanted to continue that type of work, but I needed it under different circumstances. That prompted me to look towards the schools, and I initially started in a different position than I am currently in, but that position led me to this position.
When I was growing up, my mom was a guidance counselor, so that was kind of a helping profession, and my dad was just always willing to lend a hand to family, friends, neighbors, and help in any way that he could. He's always great with his hands and doing construction type things. So when I was looking for a career, I actually started out in teaching, or started going to college for teaching. Just figured out that wasn't for me, but I still wanted to help a vulnerable population of children. So chose social work and never really looked back. And I love caring on kids and helping them out. And now I get to do it professionally, which is absolutely great.
My senior year, I ended up becoming through Big Brothers Big Sisters in their community-based program. And I got a little gal who had a pretty tough home life, was in foster care, and I realized, what in the world am I doing trying to give surveys and do experiments with people and collect research when there's so much more I can do when I have a relationship with someone. So that little gal really changed my life.
My wife will say that I have a hard time leaving work at work. A lot of times I'm answering emails or working on projects at home. But I try my best. Like when I walk in the door and get on my sweatpants and start playing with the kids, I try to leave it at work, but oftentimes it is hard to do.
My husband's really my rock. He's the backbone of our family. Working with my kids, my own children, sometimes you see some of the same struggles that other children are facing. My kids might be having some of those because nobody's life is perfect, and so it's hard sometimes to separate that. For myself, many teachers might choose to have their children attend school in the same school district where they work. With social work, that's something that I've chosen not to do because I really do get to know a lot of really difficult things that are going on in home situations, and so I really want to try to keep my family separate from that. It's important when I go home, one of the first things I do is take off my work clothes and put on my play clothes because it's time to become a mom and a wife and a member of my family unit. So it's important that I make that disconnect so that I can maintain my own health.
Many times when I've interacted with a student or a family and they're in a difficult spot or they're going through some things, it makes me just appreciate my own family and my own blessings that much more. I squeeze my kids a little bit tighter when I get home at the end of the day, and they don't quite understand why mom's squeezing them so tight, but that's how it just gives me great perspective and appreciation for all of my blessings and my family, and makes me want to work just a little bit harder to try to improve the lives of others and the kids that I'm working with.
I think it makes me a better social worker just because I always know that they're there for me. No matter what kind of day I've had, I can go home and my boys just jump on me and love on me, and my wife's always there for me to listen to, and like I said, just try to help me get back in the swing of things.
Knowing that you can make a difference in people's lives, you can be an agent of change. You can literally make the world a better place, one person, one family at a time. And you might not necessarily see that change right away, but you've planted a seed and you've helped that family know that there is hope And so that is a very hopeful thing. You get to go in and help people know that the future can be better, that they don't have to be who they were. And no family, no person is perfect. No person is 100% good or 100% bad. We all have redeeming qualities. We're all people who are fallible. And so it's important to remember that just because you meet someone at a very difficult time in their life, it doesn't have to stay that way.
You definitely have to get on that person's level. If you can't see what they're dealing with and what they're coming from, you're not going to be able to help them. And that's why I try to go into every situation like that. Just try to see where that person's coming from. I want to do my best to be able to care for them, to help them in any situation that they may have.
I think a pretty good portion of myself goes into this job or into a job like this. Without establishing those personal connections, you're just not going to be effective.